Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yes. Last day in Panama.
Oh, God. So many days in Panama.
Longer than the canal.
Just longer than the canal. There are 3 days in Panama. I feel like we've had brunch that many days in a row.
Yes.
We've had the weekend of brunch this week.
It was a lot of brunch.
A lot of brunch. A lot of food.
Yes.
I'm glad tonight we had a sensible salad.
We did.
Strawberries. It was delicious.
We did, but like it wasn't too sweet and... Yeah.
The right dressing. You need that. I'm always amazed when we do something like when you and I eat, like purposely make a fruit salad, well, not a fruit salad, but salad with fruit. It's crazy.
Yeah. And then quinoa and like spinach, you wouldn't think it all goes together, but it does.
But after having so much bread this weekend.
Yeah. So I didn't want to do anything bread related. Yes.
It was a lot.
I had so much French toast and I had like that donut and 2 croissants. They weren't the best croissants.
No, they were just, store-bought croissants.
Yeah.
But,
they're a little hard.
Oh, really? Could have microwaved them. Microwaving always...
I should have done that. I didn't think about that. I was just like, I'm just going to get this croissant because I was hungry. But no, French toast was great. French toast was great. The key, sprinkling the sugar.
Apparently, yes.
Not in the batter, but putting it on the toast as it's grilling.
Yeah. The problem is we don't do French toast in bulk when we make it for just ourselves.
Right.
So, like, I guess we could do it for, like, the couple that I make. But I don't know. I feel like I got to step up my French toast game now.
It was good French toast.
It was very good.
Yeah.
So, and then, honestly, like, as great as it was to see all of our friends and do all that stuff, I think I'm out on chit-chat for a while.
Yeah. There's so much you can say, like, not that what they're saying isn't interesting, but it's like, after a while, you're like, I just don't want to look anymore.
It was all very interesting, but it was, it's not even whether it's a matter of interesting or not interesting. It's just like, it's all just catching up and just like trying to find something fun to talk about that, it was a lot of talking.
Yeah.
But I had a good time. I'm just glad this week. It's a lot of weekend is what I'm trying to say.
A lot of weekend. I'm glad next weekend will be a longer weekend. But like we don't have any plans.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. I forget that we get that extra day off next week.
MLK.
Thank you, MLK.
Yes.
You ruined my segue. I was just saying, you were saying there's a lot of weekend. And I was just saying, just like Ashley's ass, a lot of ass.
That's a random segue.
I thought it was a pretty good segue, seeing as what she was doing with that thing on the boat. I mean, that was impressive.
Clapping, yeah.
Was clapping it. And then I thought, after Ashley was doing that on the boat, I figured Mia would at least pull out some moves better than what she did with Karen. Now, it was not.
Mia's like, I'm retired. I don't do that anymore. I just lead boobs first. Such a booby cast. Not great boobs, but like you really like. I was when we're watching the opening, which you don't see very often because they skip right to the scene. It was like everyone like went after the others, like and boobs and boobs.
I may not be the boob keeper. No.
Yeah, Karen's will never make sense.
Never
make it make sense. You can't. Should we talk about the Karen of it all? Because we didn't talk about it with New York.
No, we didn't. Yeah, it does make it a little bit difficult for me to care about
the reunion.
Well, no, just not the reunion. I'm fine with, but like it makes it difficult for me to care about what goes on the rest of the season with Karen and anything she has to say, knowing that she doesn't show up to the reunion.
I wish we didn't know. I wish they hadn't released the. It would have gotten out because all that gets out like through various people. Like there's so many people who work on a production, it's going to get out. But yeah, I feel like it's similar when Dorinda announced that she wasn't coming back for the following season, and we still had a couple, like an episode or two before the reunion. It's like, well, now I don't really care.
Yeah,
because you're not coming back.
I did notice that Karen was barely in this episode. I mean,
she was not feeling it.
Yeah. They made it clear that she just didn't like being on the boat. Apparently it's seasick and whatnot. But also on top of it, just like we're kind of tired of hearing Jacqueline and Mia talk about making out with each other.
I don't want to, or just not, it's not even making out, it's the sexcapades.
Yeah.
It's not like anything like it's offensive or shaming about that.
No.
Sex positive here. But it's just, it's so much. And it's the same story, but yet it changes a little bit each time.
Right.
Was it ink? Was it not ink? No one really cares.
Yeah.
And it's still like, well, that time, with your box, and it's like, can we just stop? It's just not, it's not entertaining. But back to Karen.
But before we go back to Karen, I think also, when you're in your 20s, like those sorts of stories are kind of funny, ha ha ha. But like by this time, it's like you're really going around telling people, well, one time 20 years ago, me and Mia and da-da-da-da.
Right. Because it was so long ago.
Yeah.
It's not like, they were in carpool lane and she was like touching her, kissing her southern lips. I mean, come on.
We're giving a whole new name to HOV lane, if you know what I mean.
The POV from that HOV.
High occupancy. Yeah. But yes, back to Karen. I think I think it's kind of well played of her to go ahead and say, to go to rehab instead of the reunion. But because there's no way that anyone except me, apparently right now, can make that like a bad thing. And it isn't a bad thing. It's a great thing. Go get the help that you need. But I feel like, what was she doing this entire time between when they stopped filming and right now? She could have been doing something. Because
going to rehab would have been admitting guilt, and she was fighting it. Like she would have been admitting there was a problem. The only thing she would admit was that, I'm not drinking, but I don't have a bad relationship with alcohol. No, actually, she would say, or she did say last episode, like, I'm not sober. I'm just not drinking with you heifers. Mm-hmm. Basically, is what she was saying. Which I was like, oh, that's great. Unlike some people. On camera. But really, it's like she couldn't go to rehab because then it's like, I have a problem with alcohol, blah, blah, blah. But knowing what we know now, seeing that video, it's like, you are not going to tell me you were sober during that car ride and that you just like happened to run into a tree or a fence or whatever you hit, and it was like not having to do with like all the alcohol that you have that made you slurring with your weave back into Virginia and all of it. Like, it just, I don't know what she was thinking with that. So she should have said she was, guilty, should have gone to rehab, taken accountability, and it would have been a better sentence.
I mean, I'm assuming she was getting legal advice from someone who knows what they're talking about more so than we do. So, assuming was listening to legal advice, then I guess it makes sense. But at the same time, like, what little I know about DUI and DWI cases and things that we've seen in the media, it always seems without fail that they end up having to go to rehab for one reason or another, whether it ends up being just to set a good example and to, for sentencing, to be able to say like, look, I've owned up to the fact that I had a problem. I've gone and I've addressed this, like, yada, yada. But I wonder also if in this case, the advice she's getting is you're going to be given rehab as part of your sentence anyway. So you might as well go do it now.
Right. Get out of it. Yeah.
Yes. But at the same time, I'm just like, I feel like she still has a responsibility to the show, not contractually. I mean, to the fans and like her persona of being on the show. But so it does feel like she's dodging her accountability with the fans and with
the other women,
her castmates. But again, it's kind of a catch-22 situation where if you call her out on doing it at this time, you're just a jerk.
Yes.
And so,
when she's making the effort to better herself, and if you were to throw stones at that, then you're the jerk who's not letting someone better themselves.
Right.
Just as like, if Bravo were to fire her, which I don't think they're going to do, then it's like, especially at this time in Bravo history when so much has been said about them encouraging people to drink and ruin their lives, basically, and they're denying that, you have to let someone go to rehab, reunion or not.
Right.
But on the other hand, it is a good way to avoid having to deal with Andy's questions, fans' questions, your castmates,
or it's a good way to get your very own special sit down with Andy. So
right, which is exactly what happened to the Countess. Like, she skipped the reunion, went to rehab, and then she had to sit down with him afterwards. So
I mean, I think it's fair for her to have to kind of talk about.
Actually, I'm wrong about that.
Oh,
I think that sit down. Oh, I can't remember.
Well,
anyways, there was a sit down. I can't remember like when it happened, but yeah. Anyways,
yeah. So, I mean, I hope she gets the help that she needs, and I hope that she's doing it for, the right reasons, and not just purely to, satisfy a legal reason, that she actually knows she needs help. Because I think anyone with two eyes can see that her, how she was plastered on those videos, and it's unfortunate. And so, yeah, I mean, whether she believes herself to be a full-blown alcoholic or not, she definitely has
a problem with alcohol,
an unhealthy relationship with alcohol,
right?
And we can all learn a lot about ourselves from going to some sort of focused therapy, and whether it be about alcohol or just any of your other random behaviors.
Yeah.
So hopefully she gets what she needs out of it, and I hope that she also does hold herself accountable and speak about the issue to the fans, because I think for her to have ignored it all season and claim she won't speak about it, like if that's the case, like if she's not going to speak about it ever and she refuses to talk about it,
she would have to talk about it next season. Let's just say like all things goes well.
Mm-hmm.
She's this is very helpful to her, the rehab. She gets sentenced I think in the next couple of weeks, and it's a lighter one, community service, whatever, no jail time. She comes back next season, she has to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like because what else is anyone going to want to talk about? Like you and Ray and your relationship? No.
Yeah, I know.
Like you have to talk about it.
But yeah, I mean, the good news, as you said, is at least she, she's not opening up a Patreon to try to get,
right.
people money to hear what happened.
So many people were like, oh, Robin told y'all. I'm like, I still don't believe a damn word that comes out of Robin Dixon's mouth.
No,
so
nor do I think that she's doing well on Traitors.
No, she's not.
I think she is stumbling into it.
She's falling into it. Yeah, she's falling upwards, and not even that.
Yeah.
She's falling mid-level. Really. But yeah, like I don't care what Robin says. She's whatever.
Yep,
stop
exactly. So moving on to the actual show. How did it start out? They were all just sitting around. Was that?
In the goat
villa?
The Gizelle villa.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think, when she said it, I didn't think she meant greatest of all time. Did she just mean like she's an old billy goat?
Next.
An old nanny goat?
Ms. Goat.
Miss Goat. She could be see, I'd prefer to watch
Rest in peace.
I know, Miss Goat. But yeah. They were all sitting around, and it was fine. It was cute. It was nice that they were all sitting around, and
I don't understand. I think I said this last week. I don't understand like what her deal is with Stacey. Like why she's like, oh, Stacey. It's like Stacey is cool.
I think she's just
not cool. She's really dorky, but I think that's cool.
I think at this point it's kind of a tongue-in-cheek plan. Just ribbing her slightly. Just be like, I don't know. I'm not sharing with her.
It could be she's like really annoying. Like she talks a lot. Like
hey, hold on. I just got this text message. What do you think about Keiarna being countersued? This text message that just came to me from somewhere.
Someone just sent this to
Someone
me.
just sent it to me. It wasn't production. Not at all.
No.
It wasn't them off camera saying, hurry up, ask her about it. We told you to ask her about it.
This brunch is boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Keiarna's like, whatever, I knew about that.
I like how she misread it as 78 million.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? No, I liked what Keiarna said, and I thought it was cool that Gizelle asked Ashley how she felt about it, and that was kind of addressed, and it gave Keiarna and Ashley a chance to be like, Ashley or Keiarna say, I don't hold you accountable for what happened. That wasn't, it may have been your friend, but,
She learned from Lake Norman, Ashley did, when she asked her about this car. She lost her mind on it.
Yeah.
So, however, like, Ashley, you're not that important that you caused an engagement not to happen. That was so dumb.
Yeah.
And then, like, Wendy's saying, oh, I know what's really going to happen. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
Like, and I like Wendy, but that was dumb. Yeah.
Yeah. What was Wendy wearing? That dress with the fringe?
Which one? Oh, the fringe?
The fringe.
The fringe.
Fringe frill.
What she was wearing was bad. It was very bad.
It was not.
It was very bad. No.
Her looks this year, I mean, nothing will beat the awfulness that was the Michelin Man outfit.
The Violet from Charlie Factory.
Violet, you're turning violet. Exactly. But, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then we had like the Mia apologizing again to Gizelle. I love that Giselle's like, I've been in this group long enough to know, blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, we all know what's happening here. Last, you got your hand slapped, rightfully so, because you wouldn't let stuff go, and that led to that whole Candace debacle. Now you're like, gotta like go along to get along. So she's like, sure, even though she doesn't like me at all, she's like, sure, thanks for that apology, I appreciate it. But really, she's like, I hate you, but I can't express that because it'll like say, look,
Yeah, you can't keep making. You got to get along with your castmates, or else we don't need you on the show.
Yeah.
So
anyway, we're talking about Gizelle. When Karen didn't go to that reunion, she's like, "Oh hell yeah, hop back to my first seat."
They should have just been like, "Oh, that's reserved for Karen," and kept her in seat 2.
Like a seat is a seat for Jesus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, oh. Karen's not here. That's just a seat for Jesus now.
Yeah. We're holding space for Karen.
Oh, God.
They got on a boat next.
They got on a boat, which I was surprised because when I think catamaran, I think of the kind of catamaran that has the netting on the front and that you can see the water through. And it was surprising that wasn't it.
Well, actually, like, this ain't no catamaran.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that everything inside just seemed like hotter than Hades.
So hot.
They were all fanning themselves.
Like, glistening and hot. I'm like, is it that hot? Like, and if so, like...
Why are you in there? Why would you? Maybe it was hotter outside. I can't imagine it was hotter outside.
It looked really hot.
But did they talk about anything on the boat, or were they just having a fun time?
That's when they talked about the whole, like, oh, did I ruin your engagement?
Oh, yeah.
And like, you went to Paris for healing and not an engagement. I didn't understand. I
wish I...
Here's the thing.
Yeah, do it.
I like Keiarna, but, like, she doesn't really do anything. You know?
Why is she on the show?
I don't understand why she's full-time. I really don't.
There's no
storyline.
Had to be a bone from the altercation.
Yeah, like, I just don't understand, like, what she's bringing here. Like, she's great. She seems really nice and personable, but there's no story.
Right.
So
I agree with you on that. I was going to say, I wish, and maybe I need to work on this. I need to work on a Gizelle impersonation, just because there's something that she does when she starts talking, when it's like, it's producer Gizelle. When she does the whole, like, so Ashley wanted to apologize to you.
Yeah.
And the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's okay. We noticed you went to Paris. And it's just this way that she talks. And it just...
It's also like, Ashley, like she does that.
Yeah. Just this weird, and she cocks her head a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not at all natural.
No.
Like, I've never seen her do it except when she's just like, so why don't you tell us what's going on here?
Like, I'm going to move the story along. And it's there's a way to move story without anyone knowing you're doing it. It's just a natural way of, like, putting into the conversation.
I'd be very curious to hear, because, like, I'm imagining whatever she uses that voice, she must use it on her kids too. Like, her kids probably know, like, oh, she's doing that voice. Like, hey, Angel, could you clean the bathroom this week? Because I've noticed that your bathroom's a little dirty.
I know you're almost there.
It's almost there.
Yeah.
It's just pattern.
Just the way of spacing out the words.
Exactly.
She does.
And so it's just, every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh God, stop.
Yeah.
So, but Jeff, what happened next?
You know what's also about Gizelle?
It's almost like a William Shatner cadence. So, Spock, I would activate the transporter. Sorry, what were you saying?
The thing about Gizelle, like, her confessionals have been really, like, kind of, like, dull. Like, her outfit choices for the confessionals. I was just thinking about it, like, it's just that gold dress and the other gold dress.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
she's playing it safe.
Yeah.
She does the two things that kind of work for her, and she kind of stuck to them.
Yeah.
You were saying you really liked her wig.
I did like the wig on the boat. Yes, it was nice and it was big. I liked it.
But then it got all flat and weird, like, at nighttime.
Yes.
Like, I think she's trying to be a little more Grecian or something with her outfit at night.
Right.
And it did not.
Right. There's like just a pile of hair then. Yes. Yeah. But no, nothing else. Oh, no, that was at dinner.
Yeah.
The kiss and then
before dinner, nothing else happened on the boat. Yeah.
They just took pictures. They asked if she liked Missionary. Karen was over it. And
yeah, I mean, and frankly, I'm over them talking about sex all the time. Like, especially because they're not really talking about sex. Like, it'd be one thing, like, it's fine when they're talking about, if it was like Wendy and Eddie, like, talking about, so what, Wendy, do you like it when Eddie does X, Y, Z? Like, if it was something about their actual life.
Yeah.
But when it's just about, like, random, like, jokey jokes that never really go all the way. So it's just like,
Did you like the sex talk better at the Blue Lagoon party?
No.
Just the lagoon, not blue.
The Love Lagoon?
Love Lagoon thing.
No, I think I don't want to hear Either way, I guess I don't want to hear about them.
It's just
it seems
it's
very
not fun or funny. Yeah,
it seems juvenile and childish.
It's yeah.
That's where I can agree with Karen of just like, we don't need to be talking about this. It's just no, And even what's her face?
Karen
Prude, TJ's girlfriend.
Friend.
Yeah, friend.
Stacy,
thank you. Like even she was like, I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah.
Like, why? But I mean, I think the story is about.
Oh, when Mia said face down, ass up, and she's like waiting for Stacy to reply with the other lyric, and Stacy's like,
yeah, not saying it.
Sorry, you're saying.
No, I really wasn't kind of saying anything important. I was moving on to the point where before dinner, when Ashley comes in and starts flirting with Jacqueline.
I mean, it's literally like the producer was like, Ashley, go kiss Jacqueline.
Yeah,
like that's what it was, and it was nothing. And they bring up a dinner, and Mia was acting like a pimp with their hose been straying, and like, and like Jacqueline was about to get mollywopped.
Oh God!
Like seriously, that's how she's acting. Like know your place. Get back in line, ho. Like I love this. Like we're not supposed to use this word, but hoes be straying. Like, what?
Yeah.
And called her like a piece of meat and that she's easy. And I'm like, what is this conversation? What is your effed up friendship? I don't understand it.
Yeah. And also, like, again, if that kiss that they had on camera was like, if tongue had been involved,
right?
I would have been
like, not a makeout session.
It was just like a smooch. Like
it was like, I dare you to kiss so and so at like your high school.
Yeah, it was like a spin the bottle, like middle school spin the bottle.
Like, oh no, Courtney kissed Sarah. Like,
yeah,
come on,
whatever.
Lame.
And then dinner was just talking about that. Was there anything else that really went on?
No, well, just now like one instigated, like kiss again. It was just a big nothing burger, and then fireworks happened.
Yeah, I think if Gizelle did that, like, did anyone like say, Gizelle, okay, fine, but you have to kiss Jacqueline too? Because that's where Gizelle would draw the line.
Oh, she would never.
Did you think if Robin was on the show, she'd kiss Robin?
No, Giselle's not kissing any lady. No. That is not a woman who's been any sort of curious.
Well, she probably has been. I mean, statistically speaking, probably.
No.
But she would never act on it. She would never admit to it because she's too proud.
I'm not saying she has anything against it. I think like she's just like strictly, no.
I mean, a number of times, hasn't she been the one who's always made a big deal about like husbands being like Michael being kind of gay, and then
yes,
she's
a huge thing.
She's always been the one who's the first one to bring up same-sex attraction on either
and making it problematic,
weaponizing it.
Yeah. So talking about weaponizing,
maybe she does have something against it. We don't know for sure, and we shouldn't speculate about that. But if I had to speculate,
I mean, I'm not going to see her on a pride float like Ashley.
True.
She's not going to dress up as a drag king like Ashley the next episode.
Ashley's like, I know where my bread gets buttered, and it's called gay men.
Right.
They pay my appearance fees.
Coming to a city near you.
Yeah.
Coming to a gay bar near you.
Yeah. She did one of the Hunks and Housewives, didn't she?
She did. It was one we missed because it was right after BravoCon.
Oh, right.
And we're like, we're done with Housewives. We're good.
Well, hopefully, if he gets her again, we'll go. I'd love to see her in live.
No, I think she would be really fun. She's a fun housewife. I think a lot of people are like sometimes question why she's still on the show, but I think she's and she too was like, oh great, I get to move up a bit on the couch. She would have been dead end.
Yeah.
Well, not dead end because they still had Stacey and Keiarna.
Yeah.
But still, she would have been like a 33rd.
So yeah, I mean, this felt fillery episode, but
then like the whole, we didn't even need like the day of the departure thing of like, oh, guess what? Jamal's getting married. Like, and like Jacqueline called her not boyfriend and said that to tell him that she kissed.
Oh,
like it's just so.
Yeah, again, like it just seems juvenile. Like
it was one day too many in Panama.
Yeah. Also, like if anyone actually like if she called and said, "Oh, I kissed Ashley," if he was actually concerned about that, like what does he have going on in his life? You know,
right?
It's like just whatever.
He wasn't like which lips.
Oh God! Oh, we're gonna mark this explicit.
Sorry, we can. Well, that's what they like. You know, very Southern.
They were. Yeah. But I mean, like, would you like if I was on a trip with friends,
right?
Like you heard that, like, and I called you and said, "Oh, I kissed so and so." You'd be like, I don't think you'd be like, did you kiss them, or did you? I'm like, no, I just like smooched them. You're like, oh, whatever.
Yes, exactly. You're not. It's not. It was not a makeout session.
Yeah.
Like any time, whether it be the table or in the bathroom, the window to the wall. like, right. I don't know why they're acting like, oh my gosh,
yeah,
Jacqueline and Ashley.
Such a scandal.
But they're Jashly now.
Did they say that?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, I like Jashly. Now I want them to get together so we can talk about them more often. Jashly, that's a good
Jashly.
Jax.
Because it sounds like Jabot.
Don't you love me as Jabot? A little
such a dumb name, but it works so well.
I know. Was that the fashion line or the fashion magazine?
No, it was Y&R. It was their fashion empire.
Oh, the whole
fashion, not fashion. They're cosmetics.
Oh, it was cosmetics.
There's Jack Abbott or John Abbott, Jabot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So good.
That we know.
Young and the Restless.
Oh,
when you were good. Does Jabot still exist, do you think, on Y&R?
I think, yeah. That, like Newman Enterprise. Yeah, because like Jack's still on the show.
Right. But
Ashley.
Is What's-Her-Face still on?
Eileen Davidson?
No. Who played the...
Heather Tom?
No. Who played...
Jill?
Yeah, who played Jill? Is she still on? Is Jill still on?
No. They like, I think she's like, not even recurring. She's like pops up occasionally, which is like, she was... Yeah.
She was the face of Y&R. I think.
Yeah, she was
for a very long time.
Both actresses. Yeah.
I guess Melody Thomas Scott is the
true. She would be the face. Yes.
So
and I think Eileen Davidson would be like, wait a second, but Eileen's like gone and left, and Melody's been there like consistently since like the 70s.
Yeah, where else is she gonna go? So, well, anyway, I think we've talked about everything on this one, and it's a nice Sunday show. I'm good. It's a good start to the week. So until next time.